Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Grandmother's clock is just chiming noon on a Saturday, so it must be time to talk about keto. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. So I hope everyone is doing well. It's a gorgeous day here in my part of the world. But it is October. And I did a little short. I started doing YouTube shorts. They're like less than 60 seconds long. People seem to like it. I guess a little bit of me goes a long way. So 60 seconds is just enough. Um, Talking about we are entering silly season food wise. And it really is a ridiculous onslaught of food starting now. So how are we going to deal with that? You might be able, well, let me refresh your memory if you don't already know what the ketogenic protocol involves. Keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net. Net carbs just means eating more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it. Although you don't even really need a food list. Don't eat if you're not hungry. That's about the most challenging part to get right, as we have to learn what our hunger cues are. And stop eating when you're satiated, not stop eating when you're stuffed. And for goodness sake, don't eat candy. There is no universe in which eating candy is a good idea for anybody. You know, it used to be an absolute rare treat. Little sweeties every now and again, once a year maybe, or on your birthday. But now it's every day, all places. Grammar school vending machines, I'm sure, have candy bars in them. Anyway, so how are we going to get prepared for that? First things first, I get asked about it every time, so I'm going to go ahead and say, hashtag Casey's Pink Drink, tumbler full of ice, mostly full of diet tonic water. I just get the store brand. Diet cranberry juice, a splash of it. I mean, it's like a splash. And somewhere in there is a squeeze of lime. That's it. It's very refreshing. Some people have shared with me that they might add a little vodka to it. But here on a Saturday midday, I'm just sticking with the real stuff. Okay. So now, for those of you who don't know, I've been doing this, following this protocol since January 8th, 2014. Over 7.5 years. I was pretty well ensconced in it by the time my first silly food season rolled along in 2014. I'd been doing it for many months and I'd enjoyed what for me was great success. Just to share with you, I'm a normal loser, not a slow loser, a normal loser. I'm like most people. The first year I lost 47 pounds. Now, keep in mind, I'm 5'1", so 97.4 pounds. I mean, it was quite a bit of weight. I'm actually 115 and a half pounds off my heaviest weight. But since I started keto, the ketogenic protocol, 97.4. So by Halloween time in 2014, I have it on my spreadsheet somewhere. I can't recall how much I had lost, but I was on a good roll. So it wasn't a challenge for me. There was just no way I was going to screw it up. Some people are just starting. I think I saw someone's name is day 2 of keto. Did I see that? And I will turn my attention to attendees and questions and comments, but here's what we have to do. It's October 2nd. So we've got a good 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks before that day. How are we going to, the only way to deal with some things is before it happens. I'm sure that if anyone has been into any kind of a store, even if it's not a food store, the end caps on the aisles are loaded with all manner of things in orange packaging. You know, when I was making my thumbnail, which I'm actually kind of proud of for this, at first I had an orange background with bats flying. And then I realized I had some yellow lettering. I said, no, that looks like Reese's. That looks like a giant Reese's thumbnail. So I said, let's not do that. Okay, by the way, Reese's cups now have bits of pretzel and M&Ms in them. It's like literally the little Reese's cups look like little tiny garbage pails, and apparently they're just full of junk. That's an aside. So what do? If you feel like you're vulnerable, and I've already heard from people that say, this was really hard. I had to go to the store and everything is candy, and it was very difficult. Because it's, even if you're trying to shop the perimeter of the store, which is a good thing to do, that's where the meat counter is and the vegetables, if you're going to eat vegetables, it's all the stuff in the center aisles is the shelf food. It's shelf stable. But it doesn't matter. As soon as you walk in the door, they've got displays. So if you feel like you're going to be vulnerable, before you get in the car to go to the store, or before you get your shopping, little thing and walk to the store, say, okay, I know I'm going to get in there, and it's going to be Halloween, 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 candy, 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 candy. Oh, dear. That's Jack. Some of you know what just happened. Jack, come here. Come here. He's trying to tell me pop zone. Sorry, hold. Jack. Sorry about that. It's the happiest 45 seconds of Jack's day, of his life, every time that the big red truck comes in. So sorry about that, but it's very loud, so I don't want to hurt your ears. Sorry about that. I bet you somebody's saying, "Hi, Jack." What was I saying? If you feel like you're vulnerable, you have to prepare for it. There's no escaping it. What are you going to not buy groceries for a month? Maybe you don't. Or maybe you order online, have them deliver it, and just don't buy it. Whatever tool works for you. There's an old saying, we don't drown because we can't swim. We drown because we panic. If you're in the store and you haven't prepared yourself for all that stuff, and you find yourself like gravitating towards it like you're hypnotized, it's too late. No, it's not too late. It's just very difficult. Prepare yourself. Start telling yourself right now, I'm not doing, and I think, is Stacy here? Did I see? Yes. Hi, Stacy. Okay, I'm going to call it Stacy. She's part of our Patreon group, and she's fantastic and wonderful and beautiful. And in their neighborhood, they lay in her house, the foyer will have 600, 900 full-size candy bars. They call it window insurance. And she's been doing this for a long time, and she just doesn't eat the candy bars, and they're in her foyer. It can be done. But you just start telling yourself, I'm just not eating candy. This year, I'm not eating the candy. Okay? T-shirt. I wore this one on purpose. I'm stronger than a cookie. I wish it said, I'm stronger than candy corn. I'm stronger than Reese's peanut butter cups with pretzels and M&Ms. I'm stronger than M&Ms. Because we are. We tell ourselves we are powerless. But we're strong people. If you're hearing my voice, you have gotten to the age where you've already had your heart broken. You might have had bones broken. You might have buried loved ones. You might have had financial issues or a terrible work situation, and you have survived it. You are certainly stronger than Snickers bars and Milky Ways. How do we not eat the food? By realizing we're not going to eat the food. We're not going to eat the food. This goes for Halloween, and now I know in Canada, their holidays, it's still food centric. It's not, it's not the same as the United States. So, but in the US, we are, Halloween, and approximately 4 weeks later, Thanksgiving, and then approximately 4 weeks later, the winter holidays, Christmas, Passover, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Diwali, I think, is coming up this month. Anyway, everything centers around food, but it doesn't have to. We have got to get in front of it. I was really fat, morbidly obese, and I didn't get that way by limiting my food to rice, little rice cakes and grapefruit. I ate. I would be on a really good effort to do things, and then I'd get discouraged, and then I'd find myself having come home with a giant package from Costco of M&Ms, both plain and peanut. I mean, I was so ridiculous. I got some decorative jars, and I spent like a day separating out all the M&M colors and separating them and so they were all on my countertop. That's very healthy. That's a very healthy relationship with food right there. I will tell you, I felt so good the first Halloween, 2014, that I was doing this. I hadn't lost all the weight. I'd lost some weight. My life became the opposite. It was the bizarro Casey world. I actually had a Halloween party at my house and invited people. And I wore a costume I didn't dress like a pumpkin. I used to be pumpkin shaped. I was not pumpkin shaped at this time. I was not svelte. But I had a great time, and I had people, and we had a wonderful time. It was a lot of fun. I went back to kind of being the person I used to be. And I was not tempted because there was just no way I was going back. I came, not weight-wise, I came too far emotionally, mentally. Emotional and mental. I felt so much better. My energy was improved. My mood was not only regulated. On my worst day right now, my worst day, like, low energy, or I'm just not feeling it, or, oh, everybody hates me, nobody likes me. It's better than some of the good days before. I just strive, work to try to feel just not miserable. And I'm not a miserable person. I'm an optimist. I'm obnoxiously optimistic. But I'd gotten worn down. I didn't even recognize my own self. I didn't recognize myself the very few times I caught a glimpse of myself in a reflective surface, which was jarring. Or God forbid if I saw a photograph. One of the worst episodes of depression I had is I saw photos of myself at my daughter's wedding. And I thought I'd really avoided. We didn't have like formal, everyone stand. It was in a park. And we just had a photojournalist come and just did, random. So I told him, I said, please do not take a picture of me. And I really tried to stay wherever he was not. But some slipped through and it was terrible. Anyway, and I didn't recognize the person I was from the person I had been. So what do? We tell ourselves, we don't tell ourselves like, I hope I don't eat candy this. I'm not going to eat candy. It's illogical to eat candy. It has no nutritional value. It's going to make us break out. You remember getting like chocolate headaches? You had so much chocolate, so much candy. Oh. Who needs that? For what? For the 8 seconds that the food is going down past your, hello teeth, hello gums, look out stomach, here it comes. And that's it. And then you feel terrible. I feel terrible physically. You could have derailed whatever progress you've made, but then you start to feel like a jerk, like a failure. Start right now. This year, I will awaken on January 1st, feeling better than I did the previous January 1st. I will awaken having been stronger than a cookie or cornbread stuffing. or pecan pie or whatever, you can do it. If I can do this, you can do this. I promise. Go to my blog. Look at my pictures from previous. They were not even my heaviest. I don't think there are any photographs of me at my heaviest. Not even my daughter's wedding. That wasn't even my heaviest. I was big. I was short and big. Okay. Quick. Shameless commerce division. Just trying to earn my keep around here, guys. You do not need to purchase one thing to be 100% successful at this. No kits, no powders, no pills, no special waters, nothing with the word keto on it. If it's a food product, nothing, zippity or doodah, nothing. People are trying to sell you that. I don't care whether they label themselves a doctor or an expert or a life coach. If they're trying to sell you some of that crap, change the channel. That's what I say. Okay, shameless commerce division. You don't have to any of these. None of these will help you get into ketosis. But Spiral, Go Keto with Casey's 12 months journal. And it's just full of things like this, inspirational, hopefully inspirational phrases and trackers and adult coloring stuff. And, in the back is like my silly face. If I can do this, you can do this. Spiral is better if you order from my blog because I'm the one that sends these out. You can get this, the Perfect Bound, at Amazon for less money and faster, particularly if you have Prime. Steel water bottle. Go Keto with Casey. Again, my silly image and some stuff on here in the back. A mug. You can get mugs. Lay off the carbs, lay off the excuses. Go Keto with Casey. If I can do this, you can do this. Magnet. Are you here out of habit or out of hunger? What else? Oh, pop socket. I think this is hysterical to me. It goes beep, and you can pull it out, and you can hold your food. Food is not the boss of me. Okay, enough of that. I do want to say hello to patrons. Thank you to patrons. A shout out. I have a private support group on Patreon where I do 20 pre-recorded video snippets a month from the kitchen table. The topics are all suggested by patrons. There's a spreadsheet. They can enter topic anonymously if they want to, topic requests. A handful of patron-only video live streams on Crowdcast a month, a handful of video patron-only video group sessions a month, and one-on-one sessions with me a month, depending on your pledge level. That's it. Commercial over. Thank you for your attention. Now, let's look at comments. I think I've covered everything. Somebody remind me if I'm forget. Oh, I'm working on 2022 calendar. I'm designing it. I have a lot of fun. It might be a stinking pile when I'm doing all the designing, but it'll be my stinking pile. All right, I'm just going to jump in where I see people. Judy Porterfield. Yes, Casey, the physically feeling terrible is why I don't do it. It's totally not worth it. Remind yourself it's not worth it. I've talked with people. I've made this suggestion to people before. They'll say, oh, God, I was doing great. And then whatever. Please eliminate the phrase, and then life happened, or life came at me. Life always comes at us. It never stops, ever. And nothing will be helped by eating food. The sickness and death of a loved one. People say I was doing fine, and then, my dad got really sick, and I've put on 40 pounds. Well, and then my dad died, and I put on another 20. This sounds harsh, but your father's still gone. I've got my own personal story, and I'm not going to bore everyone with it with several circumstances. But if hunger's not the problem, food is not the answer. Food doesn't fix anything other than hunger. But I'll hear, okay, so I just feel terrible. My God, immediately my joints hurt and my acid reflux came back. So I've recommended to people not to do it again so that you can take advantage of this tool. If record yourself right now or write it down in a journal or on a Post-it, how you feel, record it. You don't have to show it to anyone. Say, I dove into the pretzels last night and I knocked off, polished off a half a bag. And God, I feel terrible this morning. It's today and I'm so sluggish. Record that. And then the next time you're tempted to eat the pretzels or the ice cream, by the way, there's no keto ice cream. Okay, there's no keto ice cream. There is not. It's a fantasy. Okay, another side. See, I get myself upset. Remember how you felt. That's one reason. Keeping a journal, writing stuff down, habit tracker, just record your thoughts. Yes, life comes at us. Problematic medical diagnoses, had those. Buried loved ones, done that. Buried loved ones who ignored their type 2 diabetes, done that. Had a row with my lovely mate. You might get the impression, if you listen to me long enough, like we have a flawless, never a bump in the road relationship. Oh no, we're both too interesting and strong-minded for that. Have any of you ever revenge eaten? I'll show him. I'm going to order a pizza. That'll show him. I'll order it and eat it. Yeah, revenge eating. That's smart. Okay. Miss Truth Seeker 1. Oh my God, I did indulge last night with a half a bag of pretzels. See, I was watching. I knew this about you. I didn't want to call you out, but now since you know, of course I'm not. Debbie Doctor. Hey, Debbie. Ugh. Oh, Debbie. Had pretzels and beer last night at a hockey game. Feel like crap today. Debbie, you are too smart to keep doing this, sister. I'm just going to tell you. And I know you can take it because you're tough. That's Debbie's thing, is pretzels. For some other people, it's crisps. I have a British friend. Crisps are the problem. For other people, it's ice cream. For me, peanut butter is the devil. So no peanut butter in the house. I have peanut butter stories. Peanuts are not on page 4. Peanuts are not nuts. They're legumes like pinto beans. And nuts are not on page 4. All the way around. Peanut butter is no good. Queen Bee, instead of pretzels, we have half cup of moon cheese. There we go. My husband makes the best cheese crackers from American cheese. I made a video about it. It's cheap and cheerful, as the Brits would say. It's inexpensive. Tastes better to me than moon cheese or Wisps. Now, and also they're kind of satisfying, so you don't have to have too many. Keto Magic with Martha. I'm celebrating having lost 73 pounds and kept it off for 5 years and 2 months. Casey helped me with her sayings and talks. Thank you. Some of those sayings are going to be on the calendar. I'm really having fun trying to design this. I've learned a lot. I'm working with a very powerful design program. And, I like neuroplasticity. I keep trying to learn new things. Little crafty nook. Hi, everyone. Kara Z writes, smart food popcorn was my last holdout. Now I don't even think of it at all. I never thought I could give it up until I did. That's a Caseyism, I think. You're quoting me. Because I told myself I knew low carb worked for me from 1977. I knew it worked. But whenever I thought about it again, I'd say, well, yeah, I know it works, but there's no way I can give up tortilla chips. No way. I cannot see going the rest of my life without tortilla chips. I said it out loud and I said it in my brain. And I couldn't give them up until I did. And now the only time I ever think about tortilla chips is when I relate that story. It's a non-issue. Yes, Caseyisms are the best. Thank you. They stick with you. Okie dokie. Does anyone have any comments or feedback or things that you want to? Oh, okay. Anablovin, September 1st, 96.1 kilograms. September 30th, 90.3 kilograms. Total loss, 12 pounds. Congratulations, Anna. And if you see Anna and Judy, they have their names are in green and they have little symbols. They're members of the Go Keto with Casey Club on YouTube. I need to do a poll. I'm going to ask a specific question that'll be for members only, and then some occasional members only videos. So many great success stories. Yes. Now, please don't compare. If success stories motivate you, great. If they make you feel poorly in comparison, don't worry about it. Keep in mind, some of them are made up. I said this the other day on the patron only live stream, I think. Look up the history of Kimkins, 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 Kimkins diet. Look at the history of that. And there's more stories like that. But anyway, so another person's experience is not. I love the American Ninja Warrior. You know why? They are on a level, they are competing with each other. But ultimately, they're competing with themselves and the course. And they are genuinely supportive and happy for each other's success. I love it. And I love the hosts, Matt Eisenman and Akbar Gbajabiamila. And they just have fun. And I think I could do that, and there's no way I could do that. And the women and the men and the younger and the older all run exactly the same course. And there's some very strong women, let me tell you. Yes, you can on here. I'm not sure what that was about. Whatever you can do. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's a good one. Kara Z, this community is very helpful, and I'm thankful for you all. Oh my goodness, Renee Hoffman started keto in May, down 40 pounds. A round of applause like we used to do in Girl Scouts. Thank you, Judy. I love that. Casey-isms got me through a lot of temptations. Dave S., I know I've lost weight on keto. Just do not weigh myself to know exactly how much. It works for me to not weigh myself. And see, you're so smart. The scale is the scale, and it will give us information. It'll give data. But if that data ruins your day, then it's not helping you. Because there's more to weight loss. I mean, scale loss. Clothes fitting differently. Today, this day, October 2nd, 2021, I weigh less than on any October 2nd, going back as far as I've kept records, and that's a long time. On average for this week, if I take it, because I look back. I have a big spreadsheet. But I'm essentially the same size. I'm weight stable. I have a very, very small range of weight fluctuation, 4.5 or 5 pounds. So I might be up, And on Patreon there, on my snippets, I start every snippet with, okay, this morning the scale read, down 0.4 pounds from yesterday, or up 0.8 pounds from yesterday, or down, because I want people to know that the scale fluctuates. Weight fluctuates, but how do your clothes feel? How do your joints feel? How does your brain feel? How is your mood? Do you no longer need an asthma inhaler? Do you no longer need migraine medication? Are you coming off of lots of medications? By the way, if you are on medication for type 2 diabetes, if you're on insulin, you must do this under doctor's supervision, period. Why? Because if you lay off the carbs and you're on insulin, guess what happens? Your blood sugar can drop too low. It's like the insulin becomes too strong, and you might become hypoglycemic, which is a very dangerous state. So you must do it under doctor supervision. Patricia, hey Trish, how you doing, sister? Patio meetup in Greensboro in Keektober. I'm waiting until it really makes sense. I had a couple of meetups at the Wine Styles, but I just don't want to put anyone at any kind of a risk, and frankly, I don't want to be at risk either. So just until it makes sense. Speaking of that, the Durham support group meeting with Dr. Eric Westman and me, Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, online. It's on Crowdcast. It is free. He is the world expert on the clinical implementation of the ketogenic low-carb diet for the treatment of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and a slew of other things. Go to my, if you follow me on Crowdcast, you will already, you can look and register there. But you go to my blog, under my schedule, scroll down to October 5th, take you to the registration page. You can view it on replay if you can't be there. And it is free. And you can enter questions. It's really a good platform. You can enter questions beforehand in a special place. And then unlike here, where questions can come and go, and I just don't see them. And if Dr. Westman was here, I mean, it's very difficult to watch things go when there's a room full of people. You can enter them in advance. And that way you make sure they get answered by the man himself. Okay, Annalise Smith, how do you manage cravings? Here's the secret to this. I don't have cravings. First of all, craving is not a life emergency. And I've written about this. I've said it before. Cravings are like a stray cat. If you don't want them coming back, don't feed them. If you have a craving, so-called craving for something, and then you have it, you're going to keep getting that craving. If you will just follow the protocol, you will be amazed. Like the person was saying before about the popcorn. It was her last thing that she had. Now she doesn't even think about it. It sounds like it's too good to be true. But it is true. Plus, a craving is not a life emergency just because you crave something. See, I like to take things to the extreme. What if your partner cheated on you? Oh, honey, I had a really strong craving for that person. Suck it up, buttercup. Just because you have a craving for something doesn't mean you have to indulge it. Carbs usually cause them. Yeah, I'm going to start to wrap up here in a second. But if we are burning sugar for fuel, and our brain is burning sugar, using sugar for fuel, because sugar can't be stored, about every 2 or 3 hours, the brain is going to call for more glucose. That's when you start looking for the M&Ms or the muffins or whatever. Okay, Judy writes, the main thing is we're not giving up all through the holidays. If we goof up, just get right back on it and keep going. But don't plant the seed that, okay, I might screw up, but I'll get back. Try to realize, no, don't try to. Realize that you don't have to, quote, screw up. Plus, it's not a sin. It's not a cheat. It's a decision to eat food that does not serve you. It's not a cute little cheat day or cheat meal. It's a decision to eat food that makes you feel bad. If you decide to do that, call it for what it is. Don't blame keto for what the cheat meal did. Okay, Willie Hilgenfeld writes, my downfall is the sentimental part of food, like caramel popcorn balls that grandma made. How can I get past that sentimental attachment? Okay, one of the things on my calendar, food is not love. You loved your grandma. Your grandma loved you. Food is not love. Love is love. Food is fuel. Food is also not sport or entertainment. You loved your grandma. Maybe your grandma made you a quilt or an Afghan or handed some books down to you? Find something else that you love about your grandma that you and your grandma shared that isn't caramel popcorn balls. Because, I don't know whether your grandma's living or not, but she might smack you right upside the head and say, just because I used to make them doesn't mean they're good for you. For heaven's sake, have you not been paying attention? I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys for allowing me to be part of your Saturday. Realize, preload yourself. You're not going to eat the candy. Be like Stacy, Jill's mommy. 900 candy bars in her foyer, her window insurance. She doesn't eat them. She tells herself, I'm not going to eat the candy. I'm not going to eat the candy. I don't eat candy. I don't eat candy. It's not a big thing. I just don't eat it. You can do this. If I can do this, You can do this. Like it says on the back of the mug, if I can do this, you can do this. I promise. Be sweet. Just don't eat sweets. TTFN.